Well, now it's time for my favorite segment on Tech 360, where all your questions are answered. This is in the spirit of transparency and credibility that we want to ensure either we come to you when Ishan and Sharad from the team are out and about getting these questions sourced, or we just rely on technology. At the end of the day, it is a technology show, so we use social media. You can write to us on our social media handles. Shubham has done just that. Thank you, Shubham. He asks, is the Motorola Razr a better choice than the Samsung Galaxy Flip? I'm guessing this is the new one you're talking about. But to answer that question, whether the Motorola Razr is a better choice than the Samsung Flip depends on what you as a user prioritize. The Moto Razr appeals to those people who are drawn to the nostalgia of the clamshell form factor and a more accessible entry point into foldable phones. It delivers a distinct identity and aesthetic, and for someone who wants a foldable primarily for style and novelty rather than raw hardware superiority, the Razr offers an acceptable balance of design and usability. Now, the Galaxy Flip, which has gone through 6-7 different iterations, remains the more refined and reliable product for mainstream buyers. Samsung's advantage lies in better cameras, tighter software optimization, stronger long-term update support, and an ecosystem that integrates smoothly with wearables, tablets, and other devices. For users who expect their foldable to serve as a dependable daily phone rather than a statement piece, the Galaxy Flip is generally the safer and more future-proof investment. That said, there are certain issues that people have been talking about when it comes to the Flip. It's a hugely popular device, but after that, in terms of after-sales and support, that is something where you need to pay a certain amount of attention. And if you're not going to get the sort of service you need, then that can be worrisome. I know that, Motorola has been working on a bunch of things when it comes to after-sales support, launching a bunch of services as well, which can be very user-friendly. So I think that can be key, because remember, foldables, flip phones, this is a form factor which is very different from the ordinary, devices which are bar phones. So there can be issues in hardware. There are lesser software updates because these devices are a niche sort of offering. At the end of the day, you should be very comfortable with the after-sales support as well. And I think over there, maybe Motorola, pun intended, has a slight edge. Okay, we have time for one more question. This one's from Radhika, who asks, what key features should a buyer evaluate or consider before purchasing an EV in India? Well, electric vehicle buyers should first assess real-world driving range and charging convenience. So it's range anxiety and how much and how fast and how easily can you charge. What the manufacturer claims, that range rarely matches everyday performance. So there's LTPO, there's WLTP, there's a bunch of terms that are tossed in your face over there. But in Indian traffic and climate conditions, you need to be very careful about what the range is like. So understanding your commute, typical usage patterns, and access to charging points is essential. The availability of home charging and proximity to public fast chargers can determine whether an EV fits your lifestyle or becomes a logistical burden. Here in Mumbai, for instance, if you're living in a rental like me, then even getting an EV charger installed is quite a cumbersome process. So if you own the house, sometimes it becomes easier. Also, by the way, there's a separate EV charger and an EV charging meter that you need to apply for. We'll address that in another video or reel. Now, buyers must also analyze battery quality if they can, warranty coverage, charging speeds, total cost of ownership, TCO, and safety features. The battery is the most expensive component in your EV, and honestly, it is tech on four wheels, batteries on four wheels. So warranty terms and degradation expectations matter significantly. Upfront pricing should be weighted against subsidies, lower running costs, and reduce maintenance expenses. Practical considerations such as boot space, seating comfort, software features, and reliability of the brand's service network complete the decision-making process, ensuring the EV aligns with both current needs and long-term use. Honestly, a lot of the EV makers or automotive companies now are coming up with fast charging solutions. We saw Mahindra launch a new one recently. MG has a bunch of them. Mercedes, Audi, they all have these certain EV charging stations. Tesla has probably the best, now setting up all across metro cities. So it really matters in terms of how often you're going to visit the fast chargers or public chargers from GOBP Pulse or the Tata EV charging stations. More importantly, what is the home charging experience like? It's going to be much slower, but slow and steady often wins the race. So you need to figure out, like I said earlier, what your daily commute is like, how often you're going to be making a trip from Delhi to Shimla or Mumbai to Mahabaleshwar. That's when it's going to be a game changer in terms of how you allocate and ascertain your routes, where exactly you take a break to charge for how much, how fast those EVs charge, how compatible they are, the battery management systems, how compatible they are with fast charging. All of these things make a huge, huge difference. With some Tata EVs, there have always been questions about earthing as well. The earthing needs to be adequate and appropriate. So you need to figure all these things out before you buy an electric vehicle. And the other thing you need to do is stay tuned to Tech 360, where we give you the latest tips, tricks, jugaad, and everything you need to make an informed purchase decision.